Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English with Liam and Olivia.
Yes, welcome. We are so genuinely happy you are here with us today.
This is the podcast where English feels real, warm, and part of your actual everyday life.
No pressure, no heavy lessons, just honest conversations that help you grow in a real and lasting way.
And today, we are talking about a word that appears in almost every English conversation every single day.
A word so small that most learners completely overlook it. They do not study it, they do not practice it.
And yet, native speakers use it constantly, in almost every sentence, in almost every situation.
And when you start using it the way native speakers do, your English is going to feel completely transformed.
So, let us get into it. Today is going to be really eye-opening.
So today we are talking about the word just.
Just. 4 letters, 1 syllable, and more uses than almost any other word in conversational English.
And most learners think they know this word already. They've seen it, they've used it a few times.
But the depth of just goes so far beyond what most learners are taught.
Because just does not have one meaning, it has many, and each meaning changes the feeling of the entire sentence it lives in.
Just can make something feel smaller. Just can make something feel warmer. Just can make a request feel softer.
Just can express perfect timing. Just can express limitation. Just can express fairness.
And just can even be used to soften difficult truths in a way that feels kind rather than harsh.
This is a word that does so much emotional work in English, and today we're going to unpack all of it.
We're going to look at 3 main ways just changes the feeling of English, and by the end, you're going to be reaching for this word all the time.
In the best possible way.
Let us begin.
Let us start with the first and most important use of just as a softener.
This is the use that transforms English communication most dramatically, and it's the one most learners miss completely.
Just appears before a request, a question, or a correction. It does something remarkable.
It removes the pressure from the sentence. It makes the request feel lighter, less demanding, more approachable.
Think about asking a colleague for help with something at work. Without just, the request feels direct and slightly heavy.
Can you send me that file? That's a clear request. It's not rude, but it has a certain weight to it.
Now add just. Can you just send me that file when you get a chance?
Feel the difference? The just made the request feel casual, easy, low pressure.
It says, this is not urgent. I'm not demanding. I trust you to do this when it works for you.
And the person receiving that request feels more comfortable, less put on the spot, more respected.
Think about another work situation. You want to make a suggestion in a meeting, but you don't want to sound like you're criticizing the current plan.
Without just, I think we should change the approach. That sounds like a direct challenge.
With just, I just think we could maybe try a slightly different approach here. What does everyone think?
The just made that sound collaborative instead of confrontational. It made the suggestion feel tentative and open rather than decisive and final.
And in a meeting where you want to be heard without creating defensiveness, that distinction is everything.
Or in a personal relationship, you want to bring up something that's been bothering you, but you don't want it to turn into an argument.
Without just, I need you to listen to me when I'm talking. That can feel like a complaint or even an accusation.
With just, I just need to feel heard sometimes, that's all. The just softened the whole emotional weight of the request.
It says, this is not a big confrontation. It's just a small, honest need. Please hear it.
And the other person can receive that so much more easily because just removed the wall before the conversation even had a chance to build one.
Just as a softener is one of the most emotionally intelligent tools in English.
And once you start using it in this way, you'll notice how much smoother your conversations become.
At work, with friends, in relationships, just changes the energy before a single difficult word is said.
Let me give a few more examples so this really sinks in. You're late to meet a friend and you want to let them know. Without just, I'll be there in 10 minutes. Fine, clear, but slightly abrupt.
With just, I'm just running a little late. I'll be there in 10 minutes. So sorry.
That just running a little late feels immediately more personal, more human, more apologetic without being overly dramatic.
Or a child asks a parent something at a busy moment. Without just, wait. With just give me 1 second, okay?
The just turned the weight into something softer, something with more care in it. The child feels less dismissed.
And in a professional email, without just, please review this before the meeting. That's formal and direct, but slightly cold.
With just, could you just take a look at this before the meeting? That feels warmer, more collegial, like a human talking to another human rather than a directive being issued.
Just as a softener, use it before requests, before suggestions, before corrections, before needs.
And watch how the energy in your conversations shifts in the most natural and beautiful way.
Now, say it with us. Everyone listening, repeat these sentences out loud.
I just wanted to check in. Could you just take a look? I just need a moment.
Say them again with warmth. I just wanted to check in. Could you just take a look? I just need a moment.
Feel how soft and human those sentences sound? Just is doing all the softening work, and you didn't have to change any other word.
Practice adding just to your requests this week. Start noticing how differently people respond to you. Now, let's talk about the third major use of just for limitation and fairness.
This is the use that most clearly shows just carrying its original meaning of only or exactly and nothing more.
When just means only, it sets a boundary. It says, this and nothing more. This is the full extent.
Think about a simple request. You go to a colleague and say, I just need 5 minutes of your time. Is that okay? That just need 5 minutes says, I'm not going to take up your whole afternoon. I respect your time. This is a small ask.
And your colleague feels reassured. The just managed their expectations before they even agreed.
Or in a food situation, someone offers you more food and you're almost full, but you want a tiny bit more.
You say, just a little bit, please. Just a small piece.
That just sets the boundary kindly. It says, I want some, but not much. This specific amount and nothing more.
And in an emotional conversation, someone asks how you're feeling about something difficult.
You say, I'm just a little worried. Nothing serious. I'll be fine.
That just a little worried uses just to limit the extent of the feeling. It says the worry is present, but it's small, contained, manageable.
And sometimes we use that version of just to protect ourselves, to make our vulnerability feel smaller and safer to share.
It's a very human thing to do, to share a feeling but wrap it in just so it doesn't feel too exposed.
And just for fairness is also important, when something is exactly right, exactly deserved, exactly appropriate.
Think about describing a salary that matches the work perfectly. That's just what this role deserves.
Or describing a solution that fits the problem perfectly. That is just the right approach for the situation.
Or expressing that an outcome was fair. He got just what he deserved, meaning exactly what was appropriate, no more and no less.
Just, in these situations, carries a feeling of exactness, of rightness, of things being as they should be.
And there is something deeply satisfying about that kind of just. It says the balance is correct. Everything is in its right place.
Think about finishing a piece of work that came out exactly as you hoped. You look at it and say, that is just right.
Just right. 2 words, but they carry a deep satisfaction, a sense of completion, of things being exactly as they should be.
And in a relationship, you do something for the person you love and it lands exactly as you hoped.
They say, that was just what I needed today. Thank you.
Just what I needed. Not more, not less. Exactly, perfectly, at exactly the right moment.
And just in that sentence feels like a tiny celebration of knowing someone well enough to give them exactly what they need.
That is the beauty of just for limitation and fairness. It is precise, it is honest, and it is deeply human.
Now let's talk about some common mistakes learners make with just. The first mistake, leaving just out of requests and sounding unintentionally demanding.
This is one of the most common and most impactful mistakes, and it is so easy to fix.
Learners say, tell me the answer, or send me the document, or explain this to me.
All of these are clear and grammatically correct, but they can feel heavy or demanding depending on the context.
Adding just to each of them transforms them completely. Just tell me the answer. Could you just send me the document? Can you just explain this to me?
Softer, warmer, more collegial, more human.
And the listener receives the request so much more comfortably because just removed the unintentional pressure.
So get into the habit of checking your requests before you say them. Does this need a just? In most cases, the answer is yes.
The second mistake, using just too often as a filler until it loses its meaning.
Just like any powerful word, just can be overused. And when it is everywhere in a sentence, it starts to feel hollow.
I just wanted to just say that I just think we should just maybe consider this.
That sentence lost its mind somewhere around the second just.
When just appears too many times, the softening effect disappears. The sentence feels uncertain and slightly lost.
Use just with intention. One just per sentence is almost always enough. Two is sometimes okay. Three or more, and the word has lost its power.
Quality over quantity. One intentional just is worth so much more than 4 scattered ones.
The third mistake, misunderstanding just in other people's speech and missing the softening signal.
This happens a lot. Someone says to you, I just wanted to check if you were okay, and you think it's a casual sentence, nothing important.
But actually, the just is doing emotional work there. It's softening what might be a significant check-in.
The person might be genuinely worried about you, and the just is making it easier for them to ask.
So when you hear just before a question or a request, pay attention to what's underneath it.
Just wanted to see how you're doing. Just checking you got home safe. Just wondering if everything is all right.
All of these use just to soften something that actually matters quite a lot to the person saying it.
And understanding that allows you to receive those moments with the care they deserve.
When someone uses just before a caring question, the care is real. The just is just making it feel less heavy to say.
Now let's bring all 3 uses of just into real daily life situations together.
Imagine a Monday morning. You arrive at work slightly later than usual. Your manager is nearby.
You catch their eye and say, sorry, I'm just running a little behind this morning. I'm here now and ready to go.
Just running a little behind. The just minimized the lateness, made it feel small, manageable, not a crisis.
Your manager nods and says, no problem. Just let me know when you've had a chance to look at the emails from Friday.
Just let me know. The manager used just to make their request feel casual and low pressure, not a demand, just a gentle nudge.
You sit down, you start working, a colleague passes by and says, hey, I just wanted to say your presentation last week was really impressive.
I just wanted to say that just softens what's actually a genuine and meaningful compliment. The just makes it feel casual, so the compliment doesn't embarrass you, but the warmth underneath it is completely real.
You smile and say, thank you so much. That actually means a lot. I was just a little nervous about it, to be honest.
Just a little nervous. The just limited your vulnerability to a manageable amount. You shared the feeling, but kept it contained and safe.
Your colleague laughs warmly and says, well, it didn't show at all. You were just brilliant.
Just brilliant. The just there means exactly brilliant, perfectly, completely. Nothing more and nothing less than brilliant.
One morning, 5 different uses of just, all natural, all doing different emotional work, all making the day feel warmer and more human. Now let's try a friendship situation.
You and a close friend haven't spoken in a few weeks. Life got busy for both of you, and you miss them.
You send them a message. It says, hey, just thinking about you. Hope you're doing okay.
Just thinking about you. That just makes the message feel casual and warm, not heavy or guilt-inducing.
It says, I'm reaching out because you came to mind, not because anything is wrong, just because I care.
Your friend replies and says, so good to hear from you. I was just about to message you, actually. Can you talk?
I was just about to message you. The just about means it was happening in that very moment, right then. Perfect timing.
You call, your friend sounds a little down. You ask what's going on. They say, nothing serious. I just feel a little lonely lately. It's been a quiet few weeks.
I just feel a little lonely. The just limited the feeling, made it feel manageable to share.
But you heard underneath the just, you heard the real feeling. And you say, I'm glad you told me. I just want you to know I'm here. That's all.
I just want you to know. That just softened a declaration that could have felt heavy or intense.
Instead, it felt gentle, warm, exactly the right amount of reassurance at exactly the right moment.
Just right for a friend who needed to feel less alone. Let's try one more, a deeply personal and emotional situation.
You're going through something difficult, a change, a loss, a period of uncertainty.
A family member calls and asks how you're doing, really doing, not the polite version, the real version.
And you take a breath and you say, Honestly, I'm just taking it one day at a time right now.
Just taking it one day at a time. That just sets a boundary around the struggle. It says, this is the extent of what I can manage right now, and that's okay.
Your family member says, that sounds right. Just focus on today. That's enough.
Just focus on today. That just is almost a gift. It says your only job is this one day. Nothing more is required of you.
And you feel the weight lift slightly because just made the task feel possible, contained, manageable.
You say, thank you. I just needed to hear that. I think I'm going to be okay.
I just needed to hear that. The just says this specific thing, this exact reassurance, was exactly what was missing, and now it has been given.
And I think I'm going to be okay. No just needed there. Just the honest truth said plainly and with growing belief.
And just made that whole conversation possible by softening, by limiting, by making space for real feeling without making it feel overwhelming.
That's just at its most human, its most essential, its most quietly powerful.
Say it with us one final time. Everyone listening, repeat these sentences out loud.
I just wanted to say thank you. I just need a moment. That's just right.
Say them again with warmth. I just wanted to say thank you. I just need a moment. That's just right.
3 uses: softening, timing, and perfect precision, all in 3 simple sentences using one small word.
Just is everywhere in English, and now you know how to use it in every direction.
Let's bring everything together now.
The first use of just is as a softener. Use it before requests, suggestions, questions, and corrections. It removes pressure and makes communication warmer and more approachable.
The second use of just is for precise timing. Use it when something happened moments ago or at exactly the right moment. It creates a feeling of immediacy and perfect alignment.
The third use of just is for limitation and fairness. Use it to set the extent of something, to describe something as exactly right, or to express that an outcome was perfectly appropriate.
And remember the common mistakes. Don't leave just out of your requests and risk sounding demanding without meaning to.
Don't overuse just until it loses its meaning and your sentences feel uncertain.
And when you hear just in someone else's speech, listen underneath it, because something meaningful is often being said quietly through that small word.
Just is one of the most powerful small words in the English language, and now it belongs to you completely.
You're not just learning English, you're learning how English really works, how it feels, how it connects people.
And that kind of learning goes so much deeper than vocabulary lists and exercises.
That's the kind of learning that stays, that becomes part of how you think and how you speak forever.
And you're building that every single episode, every single day.
We're so proud of you for showing up, for listening, for caring about this journey. Keep going.
You are doing something genuinely remarkable. Learning a language is one of the most courageous and beautiful things a person can do.
And you're doing it, one episode at a time, one word at a time, one conversation at a time. If today's episode helped you see just in a completely new and exciting way, please give it a like right now.
And if you're not yet subscribed, please join our family today. A brand new episode is ready for you every single day.
Thank you so much for being here with us.